Like it's wild style, got the answer. Like it's wild style, got the answers ready, no need to guess. Tax refunds coming, no more stress. Deductions and credits, we got them unlocked. Lucky two forms that he knows how to rock. Got questions in your head, don't fret. Dana's got your back on every bet. Tax time, with Dana, turning paperwork into entertainment. Tax time, no need to panic. Dana's here with most of dynamic. Crunch those numbers, feel that beat. April's breeze never felt this sweet. Hold tight, your refund's near. With Dana, there's nothing to fear. From falling to write-offs, he breaks it down, turning tax talk into the best show in town. Got your back through the deadlines tight. Dana's assistance makes the future bright. Tax time, with Dana, turning paperwork into entertainment. Tax time, no need to panic. Dana's here with most of dynamic. Deductions and credits, we got them unlocked. W2 forms, yeah, he knows how to rock. Got questions in your head, don't fret. Dana's got your back on every bet. Tax time, with Dana, turning paperwork into entertainment. Tax time, no need to panic. Dana's here with most of dynamic. Tax time, with Dana. Underneath the lamp he sits and ponders every form and every line. He's here to help you make things fine. Tax time, it ain't so bad with Dana by your side. Don't feel sad, refunds and answers to set you free. Tax time with Dana, it's where you wanna be.
Welcome, everybody. It's our first live stream of 2025. I can't believe it's that time already. Joining me tonight is the lovely, beautiful associate producer, Caitlin.
Hello, everybody.
Let's see who we got in the chat over here. We got Biggie Les. Hey, brother. And we got Ross Oles. We got Annie and the Gamboa family. Welcome, everybody. Tonight I figured I was looking at the calendar, and I figured it would be a good time to go over what I believe my best estimates are for the release of the refunds for the people affected by the PATH Act. Once again, those that fall under the PATH Act for tax refunds would be those with earned income tax credit and additional child tax credit. So I as usual, made some slides, starting with my projected timeline of how I believe this is all going to pan out moving forward. So the tax season officially kicks off for the IRS on Monday, which is the 27th. And obviously, if you've been following some of the forums and the news, then you would be aware that some tax returns have already been accepted by the IRS. Much like every year before the official opening date, they accept literally probably thousands of returns to run through the systems and do batch testing. So those of you that have been selected for the early batch testing, congratulations, because you're first in line, basically. That said, if you are a PATH Act filer, you still fall under the PATH Act, which means you'll still be waiting for them to process your return and issue a refund. So as a reminder, the PATH Act does not lift until February 15th, which this year is on a Saturday. And this is why I thought it was important to make this video today, because it's going to feel like people are waiting a little bit longer this year than in previous years because of just where the 15th falls on, meaning there's going to be a longer time between that PATH Act lift and when the first checks start getting issued. Because typically, like for example, last year, the 15th, I think it was a Thursday. We had a leap year. I think it was a Thursday. So then on Friday, people were already seeing transcript updates because a lot of PATH Act people fall in those quote unquote weekly batches, which update on Fridays anyway. And so they were immediately seeing updates on their transcripts. Well, this year is going to be a little different because the PATH Act lifts on Saturday. And if you fall under the weekly batch, which I'd say probably like 90% of the people that are on PATH Act end up being in the weekly batches, which means you're not going to see a transcript update on any other day but Friday. So you'll be waiting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on that following Friday, as long as nothing is wrong, then you would see the update lift. So there's a longer gap between this year's PATH Act lift and when the first updates start occurring. So as you can see on my timeline here, Saturday the 15th, the PATH Act officially lifts. The IRS will begin processing those returns. On Tuesday, which is February 18th, we're going to start seeing that those people that fall into the 10% that aren't weekly batches, a very small number of PATH Act filers will start seeing updates. So a lot of those people who have transcript cycle codes that end in 01, 02, 03, 04, they may start seeing those PATH Path Act updates on the Tuesday. Even in some cases, some O5s do as well. On Wednesday the 19th, which is the day after, those people that saw an update on Tuesday would now see their Where's My Refund update on Wednesday, which would be followed by Friday, February 21st. So this is my first projected, like, massive. Every year we do our massive update party because it's the people that have been waiting the longest for their refunds, those path actors that have been waiting, and they fall in that weekly batch. It's always the biggest group of people that get their refunds. That's that Friday, February 21st. So I expect the first massive batch update for Path Act filers that have been waiting for a refund to see their first transcripts update on Friday, February 21st, which is obviously almost a week after the Path Act lifted. Which means if you were one of those people that had the ability to log on to id.me through the IRS and check your transcript and you see that everything, all their codes are right, and you see that 846 code, then you would get an update on Saturday on Where's My Refund. And that's when you would see a deposit date for estimated of February 26th this year. It is important to note that President's Day is February 17th, which is why I didn't project any updates to occur on that Monday. You typically won't see, even though it's a Monday, you typically won't see the transcript system update on a holiday. So I don't expect there to be any updates on Monday, February 17th. And if people have questions on any of this after, we can go back over some of these slides. So I made a nice little calendar here just as a visual. Obviously, you can see the day after Valentine's Day, Path will finally lift. And then beginning that following week on Tuesday, we'll start seeing some of those batch updates. Friday is the transcript updates. Where's My Refund will update on that Saturday, the 22nd. And then the first deposits, the first large batch of Path deposits, those for the first big batch, will drop. They'll be scheduled to drop on Wednesday, February 26th. So that was one thing. That was some information I felt it was important to go over because, I was thinking in terms of there's going to be people that are kind of probably freaking out this year because there is such a gap in between. And excuse me. This is a good opportunity in this little break between subjects that I would ask you to make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't.
You have a question in the comments?
We do.
Yes. From Richard.
Richard, why is a 17-year-old doesn't get the full child tax credit? It's only $500, but my 11-year-old is $2,500. Yes, at 17, that is at the age when they start reducing the child tax credit. That is why. So once they hit 17, the child tax credit's reduced and it's like phased out. Jules Justice, welcome back, everyone. Okay, so another thing, as I was perusing the forums and checking for updates, I did notice that the IRS ID.me site has a brand new look as far as when you go to check your transcripts. So I've made videos in the past about how to log in and check your transcripts. Well, the whole look of the site now, when you get to the transcript page, is completely different. It's more of like a list for each section as opposed to the old 4 boxes you used to see on the old site, which I probably should have made a visual for this, but I didn't. But as far as I can tell, it's cosmetic. I clicked on my transcripts and opened them up, and they were essentially the same transcripts. So the update to the system doesn't seem to be affecting the functionality. As a reminder, you should be checking the account transcript. When you log in, you'll see the 4 sections: account transcript, record of account transcripts, wage and income, and I forget the other one off the top of my head, but you want to look for the return transcript. You want to see the account transcript. That's the one you'll be checking for all your codes. That's the one that updates quickest, as far as it's the most up-to-date information for you. And of course, you're looking for the 846 refund issued code. And it has gotten really silent here, so I'm going to add some music. Sorry, everybody. As far as the transcript updates, when they do update, like I said, the first massive batch is going to be on that Friday. There'll be some small updates in the week leading up to it. You will don't panic if you don't get an update right in the first thing in the morning. They update throughout the day, so just because you didn't update at, say, like 4 or 5 or 6 a.m. doesn't mean you won't check at like 1 or 2 p.m. and see an update, because it does update throughout the day. And don't expect transcript to update on holidays or weekends. So I'm going to go back to my timeline here. Ross Oles asked, typically how long, if there are no holdups on New Mexico state return, does it typically take to get refunded? So states operate on a different timeline from the federal government. Like, for example, here in Massachusetts, in many cases, we operate at a lot faster pace. For example, there's no PATH Act in there's no PATH Act in any of the states, I don't believe. So you're not being held back by the PATH Act. It's all determined on the state and their workload and really what's going on with their revenues. And I think I'm projecting we're going to start seeing states slow down refunds this year. And there's a couple of reasons I believe that to be the case this year. The first one is a lot of states are getting funding slashed from the federal government. We have a new president that wants to slash funding to many states. And those states are looking for ways to redistribute some of the funds they do have. And they're also looking for ways to raise revenues. And one of the ways they're going to raise revenue is they're going to look at returns a little more and make sure that they're not giving away money that they shouldn't be. So you may see a slowdown in the processing of returns in many states that are facing some of these budget shortfalls. So under normal circumstances, under a normal year in New Mexico, I did a little research earlier, and New Mexico looks like it could be 3 to 6 weeks for a timeline. And if nothing's wrong, you could really expect a return probably within 3 to 4 weeks, 6 weeks if there's a backup. But, I can't hammer that answer in stone because I don't know what the budget situation is in New Mexico right now. I do know in Massachusetts what our budget situation is, especially now that I work in my city's government and I'm dealing with a lot of state officials and I know how our state revenues are going. So, for example, in Massachusetts, I'm projecting Massachusetts is going to be a little bit slower this year on tax processing. They're looking for ways to raise revenues and they're looking to not dole out money that they shouldn't be. So they're going to put more scrutiny on a lot of those returns. And there are a lot of states that are going to be facing the same situation. Another state I can imagine would be doing the same thing and showing more scrutiny would be California with everything that's going on with the fires. Horrible situation over there. It's going to cost a lot of money, and I can imagine just the nightmare of a financial situation that's going to occur, not just on the residents, but on the state government as well. So buckle in, everybody. It's going to be a wild, wild year for taxes, not just with the IRS this year, but also a lot of the states that are facing some of these budget shortfalls. Wouldn't you agree, Caitlin?
Yes.
those that have joined late, we are talking about, specifically today, we're talking about the PATH Act timeline. And if you need a refresher on what the PATH Act is, it's the Protecting American Taxpayer whatever act. And they protect the American taxpayer by holding on to the returns that filed earned income tax credit and additional child tax credit. And those taxes cannot be processed until after February 15th. On February 15th, they get released, and then in the following days, people will start seeing updates. So to reiterate what I was saying earlier, I was looking at the calendar this year, and because the 15th falls on a Saturday, and because transcript systems don't update on Saturdays or Sundays or holidays, the transcript updates and henceforth the Where's My Refund updates are going to take longer this year than in previous years. So I'm forecasting a longer wait by a few days for updates, but I'm also forecasting many hundreds of thousands of panicked taxpayers screaming on the taxpayer forums that something's wrong because they didn't update, and not understanding that the system doesn't update on certain days, and because of when the 15th fell on, it's going to take a little bit longer. I saw an interesting question here. Would Donald Trump ever consider removing the PATH Act? This is such an interesting question. I was actually thinking about this earlier. I can imagine Donald Trump making himself one of the most popular presidents with the lower to middle income people that fall under the PATH Act, simply by getting the Congress to either eliminate it or using an executive order to eliminate himself. Because I don't know of any person that falls under the PATH Act that likes it. So people tend to not like things that affect their wallet. And if you have to wait, there are a few things as infuriating as knowing you have hundreds or thousands of dollars coming to you and then you can't get it, especially because of a bureaucracy. So if he was going to remove some of that bureaucracy that would allow you to get the dollars that you are entitled to, I can see him rising in popularity with people that traditionally he's not very popular with. I'll tell you something that's popular is tonight's sponsor for my video, and that would be Gatorade Zero. And it's an interesting situation how this sponsorship deal happened for me. I have to tell you, I got an email last week from the Gatorade man, and he said, Dana, we've been seeing some of your live streams in previous years, and we understand you're all for hydration, and we think our product is a perfect fit for you. And I said, really? That's great. And he goes, yeah, so we're going to send you some cases of Gatorade, and if you'll promote it on your live streams, maybe we can work out something if you get at least 100 likes on every video. So from that contract to go through for me, I really need everyone to make sure you like the video down below. And I said, wow, that's great. And he goes, but if contract's null and void if you don't get 100 likes. And I was like, man, so I really need you to like that video, because they did send me many cases of Gatorade, which I have a garage full of Glacier Freeze right now, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I can't drink that much Gatorade. I need you guys to give me 100 likes. Give me 100 likes, please. Give me 100 likes, please. And so concludes tonight's ad. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me on that. How'd I do, sweetie?
Well, you have 3 teenage boys that would go through that case of Gatorade in like 2 days, so.
This is true. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe I don't have to drink it all myself.
No.
Okay, so I guess it's going to be a quick stream then, I guess. I thought there might be some more questions. I mean, we had a total, I think I was peaked at 11 people. And there'll be people that will come back to the live when it's off air, I'm sure, and check out what was talked about. there's going to be some videos I'm going to be making on some of the things as they pop up. I just thought tonight would be a good I didn't have much going on tonight. I thought tonight would be a good opportunity to do a live stream and interact with. Okay. I would drink that in a day. I believe you. I do believe you.
Yep, believe you too.
Well, Caitlin, it feels kind of silly just to sign off after so long. So what are your thoughts on going into this tax season?
Wow. I'm interested to see what's going to be going on with all the states, with all the delays. I don't know. The world's chaotic right now, so I'm not sure.
I can give you guys a little insight on Caitlin. She doom scrolls on Reddit and Facebook and
I have to stop, yeah.
Instagram Reels a lot and freaks out about the state of everything. So
Not good for anxiety.
and depending on who you ask, you're going to get a wide range of where we're headed. We're either going to be, it's either the dawn of a new age and a brightened future for America, or this is the end. So, I think this happened last year too with the live stream. Like the first one I did was a little early, and people hadn't really filed yet because it's before the tax season opens. But you always get those early filers too.
Yeah, it's early yet.
I did make that video the other day, and I was specifically talking to the people that, a good chunk of people that weren't waiting for all their documents. Because, we've covered this in videos before, but if you rush and you file too early and you don't get everything in that you're supposed to, you can end up getting delayed. And, so the system catches the mistake. They catch that you have a certain amount listed for your total income, and then they have everything that's been reported on 1099s and W-2s, and they say that the two numbers don't line up, and they're like, what's going on here? And next thing you know, you're in review, which always is going to delay the return. But I'm excited. I'm excited for a new tax year. I'm going to get more. I'm going to get more involved with the videos this year. I'm going to really crank out. I've been really thinking about the status of this channel, and it's funny. I was thinking about the YouTube tax streets, and I have no qualms about telling you that I am the OG. I am the godfather of YouTube. I've been around the longest. I was the first channel that covered this type of material, and you'll notice about 4 years ago, a bunch of new channels started popping up after I had like 2 or 3 videos that went viral in about 2 weeks, and all of a sudden all these new tax videos started popping up from new channels that had never covered it before, and slowly they've fallen off, and I've stayed, although the audience has kind of fallen off too a little bit. But I do think that as some of this, I think I'm going to have to make more videos this year. I'm going to be forced to, really, because I am forecasting some interesting things happening this tax season. So we'll be here for you. As always, I'll be here for the questions. I'm sure that those of you that are going to watch this live stream at a different time, when it's not live, will have questions in the comments. I'll always answer them. And oftentimes, if I see comments or questions in those comments below, I encourage you to do so. Sometimes I'll make videos on some of the questions I do see, because I want to have a chance to respond, because you might have a question that's not just for you. It could actually end up applying to a lot of people, and it would be a good idea to make a video on it. So I guess that's going to be it for us tonight. It's going to be a quick one, quick half-hour live. I covered what I wanted to, warned everyone about the PATH Act, slight delays this year, So don't be surprised when there's a little bit of a gap between Path Act lifting and when you see that first update. So I'll be uploading. I'm going to try to. My goal this year for the tax season, like I said in my previous video, I am, now that I'm in politics and I'm an elected official in my city, I have a lot of obligations now. But my goal is to upload at least 2 to 3 videos per week, and starting the week of the Path Act, have at least 1 live stream every week. So for sure, on going back to my calendar here, I think for sure on Friday, maybe on Thursday the 20th, I might schedule a live stream for Thursday the 20th, because everyone will be waiting for that Friday to see if they get a transcript update. So I do believe that will be the first live stream we do. We do have a new question. My transcript says verification of a non-filer. Is that good or bad? All that means is the IRS has not begun to process your return yet. So once your return hits the transcript system, that message will go away, and it will populate with the 2024. So pretty much everyone, especially the Path Actors, to this point has that. Most people have that at this point, but it will go away probably within 2 weeks. But yeah, nothing like many people have reported having that. I checked our transcript system; we have it as well, and it just means that they haven't posted your return to the system yet. No problem. When does the 2024 pop on the transcript? That's a good question. It's going to be different for different people. For most of the Path Act filers, it's going to start populating the 2024. Probably, some people won't even see an update until that first batch, that first big batch updates. So a lot of people won't see the 2024 pop up until February 21st, and they'll see it simultaneously pop and then have the refund release. Others may start seeing it as early as February 14th or February 17th, but be blank and not have all the information on there. And if that happens to you, don't panic. Once again, if you know you have earned income tax credit, if you know you have additional child tax credit, then you know you're going to fall into the Path Act, so you're not going to see an 846 refund issue code until that full batch update anyway. So even if your transcripts become available and there's no information on it yet, that doesn't really tell you anything. Not until Path Act lifts. So some people will start seeing updates in the week leading up to it. Other people won't even see an update until that Friday. All right. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Those of you that joined us live, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Make sure you do keep liking the videos as they come up. Make sure you recommend us to people. Push us back up on the algorithm. YouTube has not been kind to the to DSEN on the algorithm lately, and we got to start correcting that issue. So you guys can help put out good information to counteract some of the bad information that's going around, and also help people get answers that they might be looking for. All right, so I hope everyone has a great weekend. Have a great week. I'll see you next week with a new video. Take care, everybody.
Danny's got away with the numbers. Underneath the lamp he sits and ponders every form and every line. He's here to help you make things fine. Tax time, it ain't so bad with Dana by your side. Don't feel sad, refunds and answers answers to set you free.